Example 8, Brendan must pay a lump sum of $15,000 in 8 years. So what you have to notice is that this $15,000 is actually the final amount, the ending amount. When they ask, obviously 8 years is the time, when they ask what amount deposited today, you have to really pay attention to that and understand that they're asking for the principal amount, the starting amount. So 2.4, that's your rate, and 15,000 there again is the final number in 8 years. So when you look at this equation, A equals P times 1 plus R over N to the N times T, it says, oh, I missed annually. Annually means N equals 1, once a year. So they give us the A number this time, 15,000. They don't give us the P number this time. So R is 0.024, N is 1, and the time is 8 years. So what's going to happen is we're just trying to solve for that variable. So if you're going to solve for that variable, then you need to divide by 1 plus 0.024 divided by 1 to the 8th power. So if you divide both sides by that, you're going to end up getting P equals 15,000 over 1.024 to the 8th power. We're going to type that in on the calculator, and I've already done that. 15,000 over 1.024 to the 8th power is 12,407 and 71 cents. $12,407 and 71 cents. Is that right? 12,407 and 71 cents. Okay. So really think hard about what that means. That means we would start out with 12,407 and we invest that and we earn interest, and we're going to end up with $15,000 in 8 years. Part B. If only 12,025 is available to deposit now, so now, that's the P number. What annual interest rate, so what annual interest rate, they're asking me what the rate is necessary for the money to increase to 15,000, that's the ending amount, in T years. So annual, we're still doing N equals 1. They want me to find the rate though. So that formula, you end up with 15,000. You started with 12,025, and 1 plus rate over 1 to the 1 times 8 power. So 15,000 equals 12,025 times 1 plus R to the 8th power. We're just solving an equation, so do what you always do. We're going to divide by 12,025. And that is not the answer, but 1.247,401,247. So 1.247,401,247. I think that's what that said. And you don't have to write down the whole thing, but I would leave that number in the calculator. We're going to use it later. So when we divide both sides by 12,025, that leaves us with parentheses 1 plus R to the 8th. Yes, there are parentheses here. So if you're going to isolate, the next step you're going to do is you have to get rid of that exponent 8. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to take both sides to the 1/8 power. Both sides to the 1/8 power. And so take that number to the parentheses 1/8 power. Okay, and you have to have parentheses. If you don't put parentheses around it, you're not going to get it right. So that's 1.028, 1.028, and 0.018 or so. Like I said, you don't really have to write down the whole thing. Equals 1 plus r. We just canceled out that exponent 8. So solving for r, continue solving, we're going to subtract 1. R is going to equal 0.028018. I just rounded off, so maybe I should have said approximately. And so that is about, remember what we're trying to find. You're finding the interest rate, move that decimal 2 places over, that's about 2.8%. So next we've got another formula. It's continuous compounding. So the one we've already used, it could have been compounded daily or monthly or weekly or anything like that. But continuous is a different animal. And for continuous, it's going to need the mathematical number e. So e is a special number. E to the first power is about 2.71, so e is about 2.718 or so. It's just a weird number. It comes up a lot in science class, I guess, but the formula looks kind of the same. A equals PERT, where A is the final amount, P is the starting amount, E is that 2.7 number, R is the interest rate, and T is time in years. So it's really a simple, it's an easier equation. You might hear it referred to as the PERT equation, obviously because of the way the letters are arranged, but it really works the same way. Suppose $8,000 is deposited in an account, so you have to figure out if that's money now or money later. That's the money we're depositing, so that's the money we're starting with. Paying 5% interest, that's R, compounded continuously. That word is important. That's what's going to tell me it's the PERT equation, and an E for 6 years. Find the total amount. Find the total amount. That means I'm finding A. So we look at that equation. A equals, the principal amount is 8,000 times e to the r is 0.05 times 6 years. And so it's a calculator question. $10,798.87. So again, think about what you did. You started with 8,000, you deposited it, you invested it, you earned interest continuously for 6 years, and you ended up with $10,798.87.